There's two games on the Virtual Boy that don't appeal to me very much, and they're both sports games. Virtual League Baseball and Golf. These are not bad games, just not very interesting ones. Being Swedish, baseball has never been a sport I watched and barely ever played outside of school. Golf is one of the most boring sports to watch on TV. Watching women's golf helps a little because of those small skirts, but it's not enough.
Do that dance, that swinging back and forth dance, and down at the bottom do it harder. Harder.
So how do these pretty boring sports fare in video game form? And on the Virtual Boy no less. First, batter up. Virtual League Baseball by Kemco differs a bit from the Japanese and American versions. The Japanese version is called Virtual Pro Yaku 95, and in it you play as Japanese baseball teams. Whether they are real teams or not, I don't know, but at least in America it was common to not use real teams because of not affording the license. The graphics are also different. In the Japanese version you play as manga-looking kids, and in the American version they're realistic adults. In the American version you play with national teams. I don't even think there exist national teams for baseball. Before the match starts, a short version of the country's national anthem plays. During the batting, the view is positioned behind the batter, which looks nice. Then when you make a hit, it switches to a giant view of the stadium, and the players look like ants. When you're in the outfield, you control all 4 players at the same time, which is a little confusing at times, but at least it's easier than having to switch. The music is good in both versions, and there are 3 modes of play. Player versus computer, which is just like a regular match, All-Star game where you get to pick your players, and Pennant Race, which is just like a league mode. Beat all the opposing teams and you're the world champion. This mode has a password system. Before matches you choose your pitcher order, batting order, etc. And overall this is a competent baseball game. The graphics do a good job of making it feel like you're actually playing baseball, unlike the earlier baseball games did, like on the NES. It can be pretty fun sometimes, but in the end I'm just not that into baseball, and that affects the fun factor a lot. Golf, called T&E Virtual Golf in Japan, is, well, golf. There's 18 holes, stroke play or tournament mode. You line up your shot, hit the ball, hit it again, putt, score, hit it again, and so on. It's reasonably enjoyable, but here's the one case where I have to agree with the crowd. Playing golf in the color red just doesn't work. It's still playable of course, but it just feels wrong. The graphics are quite decent. The course looks semi-polygonal and the trees in the golfer look digitized. It's just that it's red. But I like the rotating 3D looking courses on the select screen. The music when playing is also decent, but get ready to get used to it because it's also about the only music you'll hear apart from the menus. 4 tracks in total. The Japanese version has the same digitized speech when you turn on the game as Red Alarm did.
T&E Soft present.
Controlling is mostly done with simple button presses, but when hitting the ball the game takes a slightly different approach. Most golf games at the time had a 3-hit meter, but this has a power meter you press twice, then it shows a golf ball with a dot running across it, and it's up to you to stop it at the right place. Stopping it in the center will make for a nice and straight shot, but under will make it higher and the top will make it lower and the size will curve it. It's a pretty different system and at first it feels fun to use, but it can get a little tiring if you're playing much. In the end, you just wish you could do something a little simpler. The tournament mode offers passwords, as if the developers acknowledge that it's impossible to play 18 holes on this without getting some kind of eye strain. Virtual League Baseball can be slightly more entertaining at times, but I actually do enjoy golf more in the long run. It's not as boring to play as it is to watch. These are Virtual Boy games I almost never play. There's no point when I have games like Wario Land, V-Tetris, Bound High, and Red Alarm and others. But they're not bad. They're both competent sports games, good at what they do. But I rate games primarily on how fun they are to play, and that's where these games don't live up to a high score.